As far as introductions, I'm Donna Summer. I'm with Farm Credit Services and I'm the president of Washburn Life.
Rhonda Johnson, McLean County Museum, and I am the community coordinator, Strength and ND, AmeriCorps member, go-to person, anything you need, I guess.
Stacy Burbidge, your community bank, and I am Washburn Life's treasurer.
Mark Lowell, I'm here representing myself
And you're vice president.
and vice president.
And in the audience,
I'm Ty Snyder. I'm the new lender over at True Community. Brian Bonner, Cornerstone Coaching.
okay, thank you for coming, guys. Okay, minutes from the last meeting. If you guys didn't get any, we have forms up here. The minutes and the financials.
And the agenda.
And the agenda. So the minutes from the March 11th meeting. Any corrections or additions, questions?
No.
Okay, we have
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the March 11th meeting.
is there a second?
Hey there. I will second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
And I will sit down.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Welcome, Allison.
Aye.
And then the treasurer financial report.
I didn't make any memos or any special comments on any of the sheets. Did anybody have any questions? We are up to 37 members.
What were we last year? That's about where we were last year, or higher than last year, isn't it?
I think it's higher, but I think a lot of that is the, there were some extra nonprofits, I
Yeah.
think, that kicked in memberships this year, which is awesome.
Yes.
But I don't know off the top of my head. I didn't peek at that. I can peek at that.
Oh, we were 38 last year.
38 last year.
Oh, okay.
How about membership dues collected last year? Do you have that?
No.
I'll make a motion to approve the financials.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, old business, we do have some board position vacancies. So if anybody would know of anyone that would be interested, I guess let the exec board know and, we can review them. Membership benefits, Rochelle had wanted this discussed the last time, and she did give me some ideas that she has that I think are pretty good, so I'm gonna visit with Rhonda on this. She had, follow all member businesses on Facebook, feature at least one business each week, sharing recent Facebook posts, highlighting website, things like that. Maybe doing a community roundup, quick what's happening this week, business check-in messages, some of that stuff. So we'll visit on that. I think we should probably try to spotlight our business members more and,
Yeah.
if it's as simple as, just highlighting somebody on Facebook or, some of that stuff, sharing photos, things like that. Board retreat update, I had visited with Melinda about some dates and, they might be in the process of moving and they're getting busy with his business and stuff, so I guess nothing has really been done as far as that. I don't know if it would be possible, with her schedule to have her, so we'll maybe have to look at, if we wanna have somebody else facilitating it. So I guess we'll put that on hold for now. And I guess if we don't do it this spring, maybe next fall or something, but try to avoid the busy summertime. Okay, donation request under old business. Riverboat Days Committee sent us a letter. Can pass it around if you haven't seen it, but, looking for, or Rhonda's got it too. Last year we were gold sponsor, $1,000. I don't know if we wanna do that again this year, or what we would wanna do. I know in the past, 1 year, I think we sponsored their, is it a sound system or something we had paid, different things. Last year we just gave them $1,000 cash to use for whatever they wanted, so, some years we gave more than others, so we can just kinda.
I think some of that goes for their advertising and stuff.
Right, yeah, and they do, put our logo on their banner and, highlight that we're a sponsor, so I would think a higher level sponsor would be good too, to get some PR out of it.
It is a promotion for Washburn.
Yeah. So, anybody wanna make a motion as far as a sponsorship amount?
I would make a motion to do another $1,000 sponsorship
Second.
for Riverboat.
It's been moved and seconded to do $1,000.
Richard, second.
Yep, I was looking to make sure. Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. All opposed? Okay, I guess this isn't on the agenda, but, some of you maybe have gotten, these letters from the school. I don't know, for their building project, I don't know if we would wanna kind of be part of that. They're wrapping up their building project. They are looking at kind of some tiers for sponsorship. They're going to have a wall showing their donors on it, so, it might be a good idea for us to be included on that donor wall too. If we wanna do like $500 or, just throwing that out there, I guess, we can kind of make a decision there, but.
Sure. Do we have to make that decision today?
No, we wouldn't have to today.
Okay.
I don't know if they have a deadline for the donor wall or anything. I don't know where they're at with that.
Is that in the mail or an email, or how do you?
Well, one of the school board members had dropped that off, but I know
Oh.
Madison had
I
gotten,
know alumni have gotten
yeah,
it.
alumni
I
have
got
gotten
an
it.
email too.
Yeah,
Allison probably did. She probably got 3.
4, no.
so yeah, they're sending that to all the alumni and approaching businesses.
Nice.
And we didn't get one directly for Washburn Life. The person had dropped it off for my business, but I was thinking, it might not hurt for Washburn Life to be included on there too.
For sure.
So, any thoughts, or do we wanna wait and think about it some more, or?
Well, I think it would be good for us to do that. We just gotta decide at what level.
Right,
I think since it's not on the agenda and it's something we're gonna vote on, I think it should be on the agenda
Okay.
in order to
Okay.
move forward with
Yeah.
it.
So
The city's been doing that too. We
Yeah.
can't make a decision without
Well, you shouldn't.
public
okay.
knowledge.
So yeah, Rhonda, you wanna put it on next month's agenda? And, I can scan this and email it to everybody
Okay,
if you want, some of you have probably gotten it
okay.
in the mail too, but,
But that would be good. Put
Yeah.
it in an email.
okay,
And then
okay,
we could help promote it out for the public. That's why we're here.
yeah.
I know, yeah, we won't make any decisions about it or whatever, but, I'd just like to make a comment. I think it would be very good for us to do this so that we, work more toward bringing the community together as it's, okay, we have city here, we have business here, we have school here, but we are still one community. And, you know, the school in allowing things like the buses available for almost any group, using the gym for many different groups, and now the, whatever room, exercise room will be available. So I think it's the school coming our direction, and it should be us coming the other direction, that this is a community, it's not a school, a city, and a business.
I agree, good point.
So yeah, I will bring this back, but I'll email it out to all the members too, so they can see what the letter has to say. Or to the board members. And then I guess if Rhonda wants to send it out to the other members, she can, or if you think that would be beneficial. Okay, any other, I guess I kind of merged old and new business, any other old or new business? Okay, and this.
I have, well, we had talked about the billboard signs. And so I had a contractor look at those to see what needs to be done. And there's some well, there's two signs. There's a 12-footer and then there's like a 16-footer. The 12-foot sign there's a couple posts that need to be replaced. And then all the plywood needs to be replaced. It's pretty rotten. That one's gonna need more manual labor. So I talked to him about, you know, if they were to do the manual, then we would purchase all the material through Wagon Wheel Lumber. And then for the bigger one, it doesn't need as much work, but it's got one broken post, and then the posts that support it, you know, that brace it, they weren't anchored in right, so they need to be kind of dug out and poured a little concrete around them, but I'll get a bid on that and bring it to the next meeting.
Now,
What was the quote you had last meeting?
Rolling Rebel was going to
Rolling Rebel was,
use one of those signs.
yeah, it is, I believe it is the
It's a banner.
banner that Rochelle did with all the ladies of downtown Washburn businesses.
Were they going to do any work on the structure of the sign, or
I
just put the
don't
banner
know,
up?
she just said she was gonna put the banner up, she had, you know, that, so,
Oh, okay.
so I don't even know,
I-
you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I talked to Tana
Oh, you
about
did,
that.
okay, okay.
And so, because I heard that her husband Dave was gonna go up there and see about doing it, but now farming has started and he doesn't have the time.
Okay,
So she was gonna turn the banner over to us to have it put up. So, and then we were gonna roll the banner out to make sure that it's gonna fit for signs.
okay. I
So
just
that's
didn't wanna
where
make
that's
sure
at.
she was planning to do something on the structure and we were planning to, but.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I wanted to
Okay, yeah,
clarify.
it's working together and, you
Right,
know, we could sure, if she wanted to put a banner up
yeah.
and we did the structure, that benefits the community too,
Yeah.
so.
So anyways, but, you know, the frost is gonna have to come out of the ground in order to replace a couple posts.
So yeah,
But,
get some estimates.
Yeah,
and then-
I'll get some detailed estimates and then bring that forth and then,
To the next meeting if you have it, or,
yeah.
okay.
So who was the quote from last month?
I don't know if we got.
I don't think you
No,
had a.
You said you were talking to somebody last.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
I
you brought
did.
something about,
Did
I
have
don't
it in the
know,
minutes?
so much
Because
for
it was on
labor and
the
then
agenda.
everything with, all the material is
Yeah.
gonna be
Oh, that's
extra.
another thing.
Well, I don't wanna speak on their behalf, but I talked to, S&J,
Yeah,
no, S&R Construction. They're the ones that have done a lot of work over at the Memorial Building. But I don't wanna state numbers without an actual quote.
Yeah, I think he kind of kicked around a couple numbers, but I don't think
Yeah.
he actually had like an estimate on paper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cause it's on the minutes from last week, but no dollar amounts or anything.
But I just wanna bring that
Right.
old business back up.
Yeah.
so that was just a straw guess at the time. Okay.
Right. Yeah, I said I think it would have been like 1,500 to 2,000, but then we went up and looked at it and sounds like their quote is gonna be under that.
Sure.
So, but I don't wanna speak until we get something on paper.
I agree.
So we would like this, it'd be cool to have this done by Riverboat Days, right?
Yeah.
And, frost is pretty much out, they're farming. Can we just, whoever you talked to before who gave us that idea of what it was gonna cost, and you telling us now that, well, they think it's not gonna be as painful as we thought, that, can we just go ahead and get this done?
You mean in a budget amount, you're talking?
Whatever, yeah,
We could vote up,
Just approve it.
because otherwise we
Spend
gotta
up-
wait
we
another
could
month
approve
before we
up
talk
to
about it.
a certain dollar amount, and then if it's less, it's less.
Can we do that since we just said we had to table the donation letter from the school because it wasn't on the agenda, so we should wait till the next.
Well, it
agenda?
was old business on the,
It wasn't on the agenda.
But this
Before
wasn't
minutes
on the agenda
before.
as well. I, personally, I think we should wait if we're gonna spend, like, and get it formally on the agenda to make that.
if we
Voting
think we have
decision.
enough time,
I think we do,
okay.
yeah.
We could
Well-
always
Get
try to
other
have a
quotes.
special meeting or something too.
Well,
said
maybe
they're
that's the
looking
route to
at-
take, is to schedule a special meeting so that we can get it going.
Yeah.
Cause
They're-
time goes by pretty fast and contractors have other things to do and a
They're-
sign may not be high priority. And we might run into other things that, oh, yeah, the banner don't fit quite right, we gotta do something else to make it work right.
And that's why we have to look at that one banner to make sure that it's gonna fit right. So, I think we have to look into it a little bit more in case we have to make any other changes.
Okay.
But,
So do you think you can get that done like in a week or something
Yeah.
to figure it out?
definitely,
Cause that only leaves
Yeah.
like April, May,
yeah.
June, you know,
They,
we're halfway through April almost.
on a timeline, they estimated 2 days to maybe 2.5 days to have it completed.
Sure, once they get to it, but
Right,
let's face it, if you're a contractor, you got stuff lined up to keep you busy for a while, not just
oh yeah,
not just waiting for somebody to plop something in your lap.
and I'll get that as well, a timeline, a due date.
Okay, and then community coordinator update.
Okay, the Washburn Life website, I am working with Mike Witt from AE2S and Chelsea about getting the website dissolved. If there's anything like on the website that we want, saved, just let me know, cause usually I've just figured, we have, pretty much now we have our minutes, agendas, I'll get the bylaws, all that sent over to them to put on. I figure we just need like maybe the images or all those pictures that we took. Cause other than that, I don't think there's much on there, cause it'll have to be all transferred over from the website to a Dropbox, it'll be stored there, and then if we ever decide to have another website, we can transfer it back over.
But we still would own the domain name,
Yes.
washburnlife.com. We would still keep that.
They'll keep it, it'll just be, they'll park the Washburn Life domain and redirect it to washburnnd.com. And park means the domain registry is renewed, but no website lives there. And then we'll get refunded with our hosting. So our new website is washburnnd.com/Washburn-life. And that will take us to our Washburn Life stuff on the city website. Cause yeah, we have the low pool grant application, grant things, I don't know if there is no videos. The documents are all city ordinances, which are already on there.
How about the videos from the meetings?
That's all on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so all the meetings are on there, cause I asked about how Facebook is deleting after 30 days all their lives. They download them all and then upload them to the website, so they will always stay there. I just have to get all the other stuff off the Facebook page before May 25th. So all the lives that Rochelle did, our meetings,
So May 25th is the
yeah.
switch over date.
They'll start deleting anything over 30 days old. Okay, and the next thing is the Taste of Washburn. That had a really good turnout. We had about 311 people with, I think it was like 30 volunteer, 35 plus youth sports group volunteers. 25 businesses were represented. So the committee would like to, I want to thank the committee and our volunteers for helping. Thank you to all the businesses who participated. And thank you to RDO Equipment, Farm Credit Services, and True Community Bank for providing the paper products. And all the people that, showed up and were understanding when we ran out of food. It was a great turnout.
That's probably the biggest we've had in a long time.
And
Probably the largest since the COVID one, which was the largest to that point.
we didn't do COVID. Was that 2020? Was COVID?
Well, that's what I'm calling it,
Yeah.
because that's why we ended up later in the year, because it was later in the year when you decided to go with it. Other than that, it was always earlier.
Did we have one that year at all, or
I couldn't find any
you
information
think
on
we
it.
had an outdoor one or something, or?
No,
No,
thought we had it.
we were the first ones to have something organized indoors after COVID.
Oh, so
Got stupid.
20,
So it wouldn't have been in
21.
19, it would have been in 20. Yeah, the world kind of shut down, and
'Cause, yeah, I
let's
didn't
face it,
find it in our
everybody was
minutes.
just itching for something to do. And
Yeah. I don't remember.
yeah, I don't remember either, cause,
yeah, there was this, nothing was going on, and everybody was afraid of doing it, but we went on and did it later because we started working on it later.
yeah.
And I don't know if later was,
We did it later because of
Yeah.
the weather. It was always so, it used to be the end of January and the weather was always so bad and so we kept like slowly just moving it up and now.
well, but that year, it was because we weren't going to do it. We just decided to go for it and get it. and
I'd
do
like
it.
to see us
So we had to be
continue
later.
it in April.
Yeah.
and-
Next year, April 10th,
All right.
right?
Got the hall reserved already,
I was going to.
cause the 4th is
The
Easter
first, yeah, the first
weekend.
weekend
is
of,
Easter
is
weekend.
April, Easter weekend. And if we go the previous weekend, cause one time we did it in March, but that's always prom, the Lions Carnival. I wanna say Ducks Unlimited, but that's probably not right.
No, they had something, maybe February.
Maybe reserve the hall and we'll just plan
Okay,
that.
and then as a thank you to the Washburn Youth Sports, we'd like to give them a pizza party. I will get a hold of Tracy Jager to see what would be a best date
Okay.
for them to.
I'll make a motion to, that Rhonda set up a pizza party for the youth basketball that helped us with the setup and tear down.
Is there a second?
I would second
Oh.
that.
Okay, any discussion? Cause there was like 40 kids, right?
Yeah, I had
Approximately.
And
35
they are,
plus.
they were, what, are they, soccer kids? Is that what they are?
They're fifth and
Yes.
sixth grade basketball.
Well, there
Was
were
it
some third
basketball?
graders
And third
helping
graders,
too,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
'cause-
they were short, but they were mighty.
Yeah. Yeah,
And then on Friday, we had 3 adults, and on Saturday, I think it was only 2.
cause we talked, I think last year we gave Washburn bucks, but I don't know if every kid signed in and you can read some of their writing, so
That
this
was
way we make
The
sure they all
Santa
get.
days, we did that, cause we only had 12.
Oh, okay,
Last year, we donated $250 to them.
okay. So, is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. And then we should,
Motion to donate to the Washington
Yeah.
Park Board
yeah,
pool
'cause you know, the
renovation.
proceeds are to go to the park board. And, you know, we did have some expenses, we don't need to recoup all of our expenses, but if we wanna have some, how much did we deposit? 17?
1760.
To cover a little bit of our, advertising expense, I'll make a motion that we donate 1,500 to the Washburn Park Board.
Is there a second?
Second.
Allison said first, I
Allison,
think. Any discussion? I did talk to Jack that night and I mentioned that, and he said they could come to one of our meetings or we could come to one of their meetings.
Yeah.
We'll bring that big check and get something in the paper,
I
so.
believe they have a board meeting tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
I'll be there,
You'll be there?
but we don't have a check.
I have a check.
Okay.
What time is the meeting? Oh, I won't be around tomorrow night, but would anybody else be available to go
6 o'clock.
for a photo moment?
I could go with her, if she wants.
Okay.
Sure.
Tomorrow at 6?
Approximately. We'll have to get on their agenda
Yeah.
or whatever, let them know.
Yeah.
I would support, our treasurer being there to hand over the check. I've looked at.
Sure.
You wanna get a hold of Jack and see if that works for
Yeah.
them? Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
I,
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Stacy, if you, or whoever's taking the picture, if you wanna get it to me, I could send something to paper, or if you guys wanna get something put in the paper.
Okay, and my other thing is the citywide rummage sale is May 10th to the 11th. The deadline to put in your forms to get them in the newspaper is April 21st. And so far we have 3 rummage sales. So we need to have at least, the least amount is 10 to put it into the extra for a map. And then update, no, the vendor show is in November. I already have people contacting me on the date and the time. So that's something maybe we want to secure the lead or the hall for that day. And I plan on cleaning and organizing the storage room in the basement of the Memorial Hall, so it'll be more organized to find things. But I don't know a date on that one yet, because I don't come in, I have to find bags. Other than that, that's the end of my, oh. And then, if anybody's interested to attend the Rural on the Rise, this is October 1st, 2025. It is the North Dakota Association of Rural Electric Cooperatives. So, once I get information, I can send that out. I decided, if anybody wanted to.
You went to that last year, right?
Yeah, it was called Rural Resilience something, but they changed the name now.
Keep us posted on it. Okay. Anything from the floor? Any business updates or anything to be discussed?
I've been talking with various people at the school, like teachers mostly, looking to get a group from the school probably to put on or be the actors in a spook something for like Halloween. Like not a house, probably the trail in the coulee. Something like
Haunted
that.
trail?
Yeah, haunted trail. And a lot of people think it's a great idea, but just because they think it's a great idea doesn't mean because for one individual or 2 or 3 of us to decide we're going to do this, to make it actually work, you have to have somebody that would do it. So the
So
thought
people
of,
with no littles.
Huh?
Probably people with no little kiddos then, that are actually taking their kiddos around, or?
well, it would just be just like any other haunted something or other. Like when you go to the haunted corn maze or whatever, something along those
Right, yep.
along those lines. It's just that it would be outdoors instead of indoors, just because it is such a big job to decorate a building to work for that to be, you know, it's a horrendous job, so try to bring it down.
Yeah.
So I talked to the superintendent, she thought it was a great idea to get the kids as something going on, and our part, if we were involved in it at all, would be maybe to advertise it.
So they would run it.
They would run it, it would be their show, they would make something out of it, I hope. I would hope that they would be a group big enough that would encompass like freshmen to seniors, so that each year it would carry on. You might have some creative juices from the drama people, maybe
Sure.
the speech people, maybe the DECA people, I don't know. So I'm just trying to get something in there to get people thinking about it, and maybe we can get something done, maybe nothing will come out of it, but
Yeah, well, keep us posted, and if they decide to do something, we sure can.
I think it would be really cool for us to have something like that in Washburn, to just bring something to town to. I also had a couple of words with the park board about a skating rink. And the words were about trying to get a synthetic skating rink that you would set up in the fall, and it would stay there till spring. You pick it up and you put it away, so there's no maintenance during the year. Probably the Legion would be the people paying for it. Possibly it would be at the Legion Park, or whatever we're gonna call that park.
Sure.
Or maybe it would be by City Hall here, I don't know. But anyway, the park board member I talked to was, oh yeah, that would be a good idea that way we don't have to maintain it during the winter. And we're not subject to, oh, it's not cold enough yet. Oh, it's already a mess. Or somebody does something to it and you gotta fix it, but anyway. So we'll see what they do.
I sent a recommendation for a facilitator who specializes in customer experience, he's a consultant, so for you guys, for your retreat.
Oh, okay.
His name is Jesse Brock. I didn't have your email.
Okay.
I forwarded it
Okay.
to her, that's what, when they asked for, community coordinator update, I was
There
just
you go.
hitting the
Oh,
send.
okay, yeah. Yeah, we'll look at that.
Cause yeah, I
Oh, thank
also
you.
talked with the park board on the ice skating rink and the hockey, you know, cause a lot of people wanted it, and they said it would probably have to with them after the pool. Cause they also have people that would like to have a pickleball court. And then after talking with that, that'd be nice to do up at that school where they have the tennis court. I don't know if they use it and make that into a pickleball court.
Well, all you gotta do is put the lines in the right spot, because
I think it's a different kind of flooring, rubberized
yeah,
floor or something.
they play on the same surface. They just use a wooden paddle instead of a racket, and the lines are shorter, smaller.
Cause they said that court back here would be probably big enough to have a pickleball court and the ice skating rink. But then they have to figure out how to keep the sand from the sand volleyball from getting on, so they'd have to, you know, kind of build up the wall there. There is one.
So yeah, you have to see if the school's okay with modifying that, but does anybody use that tennis court?
I don't know, cause Kim and Jensen was one that, you know, got a hold of the park board, and there were someone from the park board's working with them, but if she's, well, maybe she could mention it to the school. Cause there are a lot of teachers that are into that pickleball, and they go down to Bismarck to play.
So, why don't we ask the superintendent, hey, can you make that open for the public and
Cause that
have
would be
somebody?
good with the school doing for their Phi Ed classes, if it's springtime in that or fall.
Cause really all it takes is to have the lines painted in the right spot for both. As far
Nets
as
are the
a pickle
same?
court, huh?
Nets are the same?
Nets are the same,
Okay.
cause there are places where they do both, and the tennis people don't like the pickle people because it takes away from the time that they get to play tennis, cause they're sharing.
But they don't wanna share.
They don't wanna share. Yeah, I've heard that argument of several different communities.
Poor
actually.
pickle people.
Yeah, the pickle people.
It's the perfect thing for old people, you don't have to run so far, maybe.
maybe.
Okay, is there anything else? Rhonda's got upcoming events on here, and our next meeting is May 13th. Anybody have anything else?
No?
Otherwise,
so.
meeting adjourned.
Alrighty, that's all folks.